She vowed forever at the altar. Yet 63% of married women confess to emotional affairs, not out of malice, not due to flaw, but because of this. And once you perceive it, marriage will never appear the same. Marriage is portrayed as a fairy tale, a sacred promise wrapped in white silk and gold bands. But beneath the lace and laughter lies a truth no one dares to tell. Stability can extinguish desire. The very comfort that vows are built on, predictability, consistency, routine, can also become the slow erosion of passion. Studies show the human brain craves novelty 3 times more than safety. It's wired that way, and married women, more often than not, find themselves submerged in the same conversations, the same faces, the same rhythm. Until one day, it feels like they've stopped existing as individuals and have simply become a role: the wife, the mother, the partner. It begins in whispers, a compliment from a colleague, a "hey, long time" from someone who once made her laugh. At first, it's harmless, maybe even amusing. But then, it starts to feel alive, a spark, a mirror, a glimpse of the woman she was before she became invisible. And that spark? That's dopamine. And it's addictive. And yet, we shame her. We call her selfish, immature, even cruel. But we rarely ask, what changed? What was she missing? And why didn't anyone notice? Today, we unveil the 3 psychological snares that render married women the easiest prey, and why they've been overlooked for too long. Trap 1. The invisibility curse. The first trap isn't betrayal, it's neglect. A common, almost universal mistake made by husbands. They stop noticing her. Not just her body, but her spark, her intellect, her humor, her fears. Not because they've stopped loving her, but because they've stopped seeing her. In the beginning, he watched her move with fascination. Her quirks were endearing. Her laughter was a melody. Her opinions were sharp, refreshing. But over time, routine replaced reverence. The same woman who once left him breathless becomes familiar. And in that familiarity, something dangerous grows: complacency. He still loves her, but from a distance. He assumes she's fine, assumes she knows, assumes she doesn't need what she once craved: to be witnessed, to be wondered about. So she becomes part of the furniture, present but unacknowledged, useful but uninspired. She is still there, but she is no longer seen. And this is where the outsider enters. He doesn't need chiseled abs or wealth. He just asks one question: what's your story? And with that, the stone begins to crack. Because he sees what her partner has forgotten. He listens, he notices, but more than that, he challenges her. He makes her prove herself again. He teases her. He plays in the space between tension and attention. And for someone who's been invisible for years, that's not flattery. It's oxygen. It's not that she wants to betray. It's that she wants to feel real again. Alive. Desired. Singular. To be looked at like she matters. To be spoken to like she still surprises. And if she must escape her role to remember her name, the cost suddenly seems justifiable. And men wonder, how could she do this to me? But the better question is, what did she have to become, just to survive? If this truth stings, it's because it's real. Like this video so we can go even deeper, into the second trap that no one sees coming. And you won't want to miss it. Trap 2. The hero fantasy. They say women don't cheat for sex. They cheat for significance. She's not searching for a man with muscles. She's searching for a man who makes her feel like the heroine of her own story again. You see, most women don't want to leave their lives. They just want to remember the version of themselves that once burned brighter inside them. Her husband may be a provider. He brings security, stability, a roof and routine. But the other man? He brings adventure. He listens not with obligation, but fascination. He doesn't see her as the wife. He sees her as a mystery, as someone worth saving, seducing, discovering. She tells him about her dreams, her regrets, her fears, and for the first time in a long time, she feels like the main character. And here's the twist. She doesn't need him to rescue her. She needs to feel like she's being rescued. Rescued from repetition. Rescued from invisibility. Rescued from a life that, somewhere along the way, stopped feeling like hers. The fantasy isn't about leaving her life. It's about escaping the numbness inside it. This isn't morality. It's biology. Women are wired to crave both protectors and provocateurs. And if her husband only plays one role, someone else will step in to play the other. It's not about choosing between love and lust. It's about feeling fully alive. And when she's with the man who remembers her, her brain floods with chemicals she hasn't felt in years. Dopamine, oxytocin, adrenaline. Not because he's better, but because he sees what her life has forgotten. Trap 3. The sinner's loophole. Here's where it turns from fantasy to danger. Because deep down, she knows it's wrong. So her mind creates a door, a loophole, an excuse. It's just texting. My husband ignores me. I deserve this. And here's what the science says. The more she justifies, the more dopamine she releases. Stanford researchers discovered that rationalization activates the same pleasure centers as the affair itself. She's not addicted to the sin. She's addicted to the story she tells herself about the sin. The why becomes her drug. I'm not cheating. I'm healing. I'm not betraying. I'm remembering. And the cleverest men? They don't force her. They don't chase her. They let her do the work. They create the space where she writes the permission slip and signs it. Because once that internal justification clicks, there's no going back. She's not just having an emotional affair. She's rewriting her identity. And the hardest part? She'll convince herself she's never been more honest. Because for the first time in a long time, she's telling someone the truth about what she feels, even if that truth is dangerous. This isn't a morality tale. It's a warning. The married women who fall the hardest aren't the wild ones. They're the forgotten ones, the loyal, the consistent, the quiet ones who buried their needs until those needs grew teeth. And if you've made it this far, hit that subscribe. Not for me, for the one truth your relationship can't afford to ignore. Because before she leaves you, she disappears.